You know, I just can't get this board the right length. I keep hitting it with a hammer, but all I'm doing is making a mess. A saw! Brilliant! Thank you, Jonathan. Why didn't I think of that? Hello, I'm Roger Firestien. Today we're going to spend a few minutes taking a look at when it's appropriate to use creative problem solving and when it's not. In other words, how to know if you've got the right tool for the job. We'll also take a look at the 3 roles in a creative problem-solving session that are necessary for success. Using creative problem-solving techniques when you don't need them is like trying to shorten a board with a hammer. It doesn't work very well, it frustrates the person doing the job, and it produces a low-quality product. It's the same with creative problem-solving. Using creative problem-solving when you don't need it will frustrate the group, and it will not produce a high-quality or creative product. So when is it appropriate to use creative problem solving? First, just as it is inappropriate to shorten a board with a hammer, don't hold a creative problem solving session when you already have an answer to the problem you're working on. When the answer is obvious, because that's what you think is expected, or it's the politically correct thing to do, or because you think it would be good for a group to get together to have some fun. Also, don't hold a creative problem-solving session when you want the group to think they have come up with the answer you are looking for. Be honest with your reasons for holding a creative problem-solving session. When you're honest with yourself about why you're holding a creative problem-solving session, then you free yourself and your group to come up with those creative, innovative, and surprising answers. So when is it appropriate to use creative problem-solving to solve a problem or capitalize on an opportunity? First of all, check to make sure that you have ownership of the situation. Make sure that you have decision-making or implementation responsibility, or at the very least, that your actions can make a difference in this situation. For example, as much as I'd like to solve the problem of world hunger, I don't have much ownership of that situation. But I can refocus my efforts to make a difference with regard to hunger in my community. I could donate money, volunteer at a soup kitchen, or donate food. Next, make sure you're motivated to take action on the outcome of your creative problem-solving session. There's nothing worse than spending lots of time and energy with a group to solve a problem that you don't intend to do anything about. Finally, check to make sure that you want some imaginative thinking and that you're open to some new approaches. Remember, this is the creative problem-solving process. Don't use creative problem-solving to work on simple problems that require a yes or no answer, or that already have an established procedure in place. So remember, it's appropriate to use creative problem solving when you have ownership, when you're motivated to work on the challenge, and when you want to apply some imaginative thinking to your task. We've just talked about when to use creative problem solving. Now, let's talk about how to use creative problem solving. Just as you don't have to use an entire factory to remodel your house, you don't have to use the entire creative problem-solving process to solve a problem. You can use pieces of the process. For example, if the situation is unclear or vague and you don't have all the facts or there's no clear direction, begin using creative problem-solving by identifying a goal, wish, challenge, gathering some data, and then taking some time to clarify the problem. Be sure to come up with a number of different ways to restate your problem. If you have a clearly defined problem and you need some ideas or solutions for solving it, use creative problem solving to generate ideas. If you have some promising ideas that need to be strengthened or refined, use the select and strengthen solution stage of creative problem solving. Here's where the pluses, potentials, concerns technique or the evaluation matrix can be really helpful. If you know what you need to do, but you want to create a plan of action so that you or your team knows what needs to be done, use creative problem solving to plan for action. So, next time you want to conduct a creative problem solving session, make sure it's the right tool for the job. Another important aspect of applying creative problem solving are the roles in a creative problem solving session: client, facilitator, and resource group. The client is the person who owns the challenge and has primary decision-making authority over how it is to be implemented. The client can be one person or it can be an entire team. The facilitator is the person who manages the creative problem-solving process and keeps the group moving toward a successful resolution of the challenge. The facilitator is not involved in the content or subject matter of the session. It's best to have a facilitator who doesn't have a stake in the challenge, and the facilitator shouldn't be the team leader. It is the facilitator's job to manage the process and keep the group on track. The resource group are the people who generate options or ideas to deal effectively with the challenge. We recommend that some of the resource group members be familiar with the problem and that some of the members not be acquainted with the subject matter at all. That way you get a fresh perspective on the problem. Remember, it's important to use the right tool for the job, and the way you learn about how to select the right tool is through practice. So while you're practicing selecting the right stage of creative problem solving, I'll be practicing my carpentry. Good luck. Have fun.